So according to an online poll, what percentage of adults have made a sex tape? The answer is 26%.
There you go. 1 in 4 of us. First though, much more seriously, should sex tape teachers be allowed to teach again, or should primary school miss Jane Moyle and her husband of 20 years, Colin, who teaches at secondary level, be struck off the teachers' register forever? The pair are in hot water after a sex tape they made at home in Merthyr Tydfil in Wales surfaced on an adult website. We don't know how it got there, by the way. We're also not sure if the video has been seen by pupils, parents or teachers. But what we do know is that Jane, 44, was questioned about it at the school and has since resigned, while her 49-year-old law teacher husband has been off sick for several months. I bet he is. What I'm trying to find out, though, is what should happen next. Say he quits as well. Shouldn't that be the end of the matter? Or should they be punished further, struck off as teachers forever? What they did was not illegal. It didn't involve animals or children or anything depraved. It was just a bit of adult fun. Everyone from brain-dead hotel heiresses to Hollywood A-listers seems to be making blue movies in their spare time which end up on the net. To allow their film to get on the net was naive, verging on stupid, especially for teachers. True, it was posted on an adult site, which meant it should have been out of bounds to youngsters, but then they're more net-savvy than us adults. Last month, we debated the case of 30-year-old Natasha Gray, once voted Britain's sexiest teacher, who faced the sack after posting racy pictures of herself on a website for glamour models. Now, she eventually got to keep her job as a PE teacher at the same college for 11 to 16-year-olds where she taught. Quite right, too, I think, though she was made to take her snaps down. So what about the sex tape teachers? I mean, why not allow them to teach elsewhere when all the fuss has died down? Like your kids' school, Dominic.
No, I mean, I think their position's untenable. I think in our increasingly liberal and immoral world, we need our teachers to set a benchmark for kids. They need to be...
What was it they did that was illegal?
Well, whether it's illegal or not, Matthew, the teachers are someone the kids should admire and look up to and want to try and emulate.
Surely the real issue is who goes around looking at these websites looking for filth and then passes it down.
Well,
that strikes me as immoral.
If they hadn't uploaded it, it wouldn't be anything to see, would they?
We don't know they uploaded it themselves.
Well, look, the situation is you want your kids to admire and emulate their teachers, and this is entirely inappropriate, whether it's illegal or not. Unfortunately, you feel sorry for them because they made a profound mistake.
Yeah.
But if you don't take this line, then what are you saying to other teachers?
Well, I think it is right that they should both leave their schools, right?
Yeah.
I do. I just don't see what anybody gains from striking them off. Why not just suspend them for 6 months and then give them a teaching post in Durham, miles away?
People in Durham, the children in Durham will still know this story because their names are out there now. I think that's sort of damaged their...
I suppose the point is also...
their credibility. Although I do think that what people do in their own homes is their own business. So if they want to do that, fine.
It's not their own business because they put it on the...
Well, we don't know they put it there. Someone might have stolen it. It might have been taken out of their bins. I mean,
exactly.
You know.
I mean, we don't know how it got there, but if they move around, the story will follow them.
I think if you're a teacher and you've done that, which goes into the public domain, you can't expect to continue as a teacher.
OK, Amanda?
Well, I think that's the big issue here is how did it get on the internet? Yeah. I mean, number one, I cannot for the life of me understand why anybody would want to film themselves. The thought of my flabby bits bouncing up and down and then watching it back, it's not pleasant.
Control yourself, Eric. Control yourself.
Oh, the thought of it, horrible.
It's all in the eye of the beholder, Amanda. People are very peculiar.
And also, you can edit those bits out as well. So.
Airbrushing.
But I think it's how it got onto the internet. If they made it with the sole purpose of putting it on an adult website, then I would take a very different view than if they just did it, like you say, in the comfort of their own home for their own entertainment, and it somehow got on because
found it or being malicious.
Then
whatever.
It's a different. I mean, I actually do feel desperately sorry for both of them. It's a small place that they come from, isn't it? They've got 3 kids.
Busy.
You want to get them moved out.
I think they're in grave danger of being punished twice. Once to lose their jobs, whether they resign or are fired, and then to be struck off again. That seems overly harsh.
I agree with you. They need to leave the schools that they're teaching in. But I would be very interested to find out how it got onto the website.
Let's throw it open to you. Do these teachers deserve a second chance? Should they be struck off? Let's hear what you have to say.
We have Kathleen on line 1.
Kathleen, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. What should happen next, Kathleen?
I actually couldn't predict what should happen next. I don't think being fired or struck off is the answer, and I don't think them continuing as teachers is really a problem. I think they've actually become now figures of ridicule. If you're a figure of ridicule, then there is no way that you have any credibility or credence as far as teaching is concerned. I think first thing is needed in teaching is respect. Teachers have to set an example. They don't just teach a subject. A teacher should teach pupils in what is good and elevate their own behaviours accordingly.
But you're suggesting that they haven't. I mean, how do we know? I mean, they've been teaching for 20 years.
It's not to do with teaching, it's to do with behaviour as perceived by the public now. They're now in the public domain. They've become figures of ridicule. It's absolutely nothing to do with them as teachers. You've got to separate the two.
Well, if it's not,
it doesn't seem fair to separate the two.
If it's nothing to do with them as teachers, then they deserve a second chance, don't they?
I don't think it's about second chances. I think it's actually about now how they're perceived and can they actually...
OK. Kathleen, forgive me, I hear you've got lots of calls and very little time.
John's a teacher himself, and he's online too.
John, good morning.
Good morning, Matthew.
Do they deserve...
Get to the point very quickly. Yeah, can I just say, teachers have to follow a code outside of school. It doesn't stop at 3:30. Indeed, one of the things that strikes me about this is Dominic's point is spot on, but he mentioned the fact that, teaching elsewhere. Well, let me just tell you, there are way more teachers out there than there are teaching posts. And if you are not the cream of the cream, why should you have a job in teaching that someone else could have?
OK, I mean, cream is an unfortunate choice of word in this particular instance. If, John, let's just let me be devil's advocate for one moment. Let's just say that a prankster took the DVD from their house and posted it online, and we don't know the circumstances whatsoever. It's probably a very remote possibility. Let's just say a prankster put their video online. Do they deserve a second chance then?
No, because they shouldn't have made it in the first place.
You just said 1 in 4. 1 in 4 adults make adult movies.
No, 1 in 4 people took part in that online survey, and I suggest that survey was on an adult website. You know,
I mean, I think, John, that's a fascinating point. He doesn't think that, it's a totally legal activity that 1 in 4 people, according to that survey, does. That should cost your entire career. OK, thank you, John. Let's have someone from our audience. Oh, I can see Simon. You're a teacher.
Indeed. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I would say that is it normal to film yourself, even if you're married, is it normal to film yourself having sex?
1 in 4 people do.
Well, those 1 in 4 people, that's strange behaviour. To the vast majority of the population, just to get things clear, that is very strange.
But people like all kinds of weird things. They like getting dressed up in nappies. They like being beaten.
Well, but for the vast majority of people...
But we shouldn't judge,
we should judge them. We should judge them. Yeah, they're teachers. And there are laws that govern teachers that don't apply to people in any other profession.
Laws?
Well, I'd say, rules and regulations.
OK.
OK, unwritten rules and regulations. And as someone said, I agree wholeheartedly with Dominic Holland. I have to say at this point that the PC brigade will say, oh, they should be allowed to carry on teaching. But as long as it's not my children, of course.
So I have the perfect compromise. We have children, they're getting pregnant all the time, sexual diseases, a lack of knowledge of sex. Why not get them to teach sexual health with their own homemade instructional videos?
It's good. I'm glad we can joke about these sort of things. But to getting back to the point, look, if they were both bus drivers, then let's get on and drive the bus. But when you're dealing with just a job that primarily deals with children, then I'm afraid there are unwritten rules and regulations.
OK.
I'm afraid they've crossed that line.
OK, I have to stop. I have to go to the break. Great shame. I want to know more about, actually, the point that John made, I think our previous caller, about whether or not they shouldn't even be able to do such a video on their own at home in the first place. Maybe a discussion for another time.